Hi there. We are back for another video, and I'm so excited to be talking to you all today about another subject that is super relevant to everything going on right now with COVID-19 and the state of the workforce and also our economy. Unfortunately, my colleague Rustin Warner, who joined me in the last video, is not able to be with me here today. And Rustin and I used to work together at our former employer, and he's still my friend today, which I'm so grateful for, but he will be joining for another video later this week. If you missed our video, our first video last week, sharing our very personal story of loss, sudden loss due to COVID-19, we shared how we were laid off last Monday, along with 248 of our dear colleagues. So as Rustin and I were thinking about what we wanted to talk about in our next couple of videos, the idea came to mind that we wanted to flip the script a little bit and talk to our colleagues who are still working today at our former company, and also anybody else who is lucky enough to be working today. Because we realize that nobody has a crystal ball and nobody can guarantee employment at this point. COVID-19 is a worldwide pandemic. I don't think anybody would disagree with that fact. And the fact of the matter is also that you just need to be prepared for the unexpected, because Rustin and I for sure did not expect to get on a Zoom call a week ago, Monday, I can't believe it's been 8 days already, and be without a job so suddenly. We weren't prepared for that. And so we've learned a lot of lessons in the last 8 days, reflecting and processing through that. And that's what brings us to our topic today and what I am here to share with you. We came up with 6 actionable tips that you can take today to prepare for sudden job loss. Now, because we want to keep this video short, this video will be about 10 minutes or so-ish long. And so we're going to just be sharing, or I should say Rustin's not here. I'm just going to be sharing the first 3 of these 6 actions that you can take today. And then later this week, Rustin will be back with me and we will share the remaining 3 tips that you can take to be prepared for sudden job loss. And of course, we hope this happens to none of you, because it has been devastating. I really hope that as many people as possible can retain their job and not have to go through what Rustin and I and many, many other people have gone through as well. So again, this will be the first part in a 2-part series this week. And we have 6 actions you can take today to prepare for sudden job loss based off of our own personal experience. And today I'll just be sharing with you the first 3 of those 6 tips. So the first tip is to take administrative action today. So what that means is, last week when Rustin and I lost our job, and our colleagues as well, we were on a very short Zoom chat with our CEO, and within 15 minutes we knew that we were no longer employed, and we would be getting further communication via email later that day from our HR team. And that was it. Within 10 to 15 minutes after that Zoom video call and all the chaos of like, what is going on? What did he just say? Is this really happening? Did you get, notified too? Are you still working? Like, so much chaos, so many conversations going on. People were freaking out. I was freaking out. We lost sight of like, oh crap, if there are a file or 2 that maybe I want to have documentation of as proof of my own work, or keep in my own portfolio, that has no proprietary information, that has no intellectual data, doesn't give away trade secrets or company secrets, I wish I would have pulled over a file or 2 or maybe 3 of proofs of work for myself, projects that I've spent 20 hours working on the last 10 days, and it's gone. It's completely gone. So just think about things that you have worked on, and if there is anything that you just have to have a record of for yourself. Keep in mind, I do want to reiterate, I'm not recommending, do not take anything that is not yours. Do not take any information that might be like customer data or intellectual property. If it doesn't belong to you, do not take it. Now, along with administrative action, another thing you might want to do is make sure that, like, in whatever ATS system your company uses, or maybe your punch in, punch out system your company uses, Make sure that you have access to your W-2s electronically and your pay stubs after you get locked out of the system. So add a personal email address and make sure your home address is up to date as well. So that was tip number one. Tip number two, evaluate your financial needs. So I know that I had said this in our video previously that I knew layoffs were coming at our former company. I just thought it was maybe going to be 2 or 3 weeks in the future. I did not in any way expect or plan for it to be at noon on a Monday. So here's what you should do financially. Take a look at your expenditures. Write a list. That's exactly what I did. Okay, my gym membership costs this. My cell phone bill each month costs this. My utilities each month cost this. My mortgage or my rent costs this. If you have any loans, how much does that cost you each month? You know, a car payment, are you paying off like education debt? Do you have tuition you're paying? Do you have childcare you're paying? Make a list of all of your expenditures and decide today what you can potentially cut out if you lost your job today. That would definitely be a strong recommendation from Rustin and I. Another thing to do is to, along the same lines of your financial needs, is go into any third-party websites that you might have financial info in through your company. So maybe it's a third-party financial institution where they put your 401k. Maybe it's a third-party company where you store your stock options that you got with the company, or some type of other benefits or perks that might have only your work email address, which you will no longer have access to again. Refer back to number one, administrative needs. But you will want to make sure that you have, again, a personal email in all of these third-party sites so that if your access gets cut off immediately, like ours did, you still can be contacted by them, you can still get paperwork from them, and you can still have some type of access to those things. Another thing that goes along with financial needs and assessing that is really consider right now, with everything going on and so much uncertainty in the marketplace and with work, consider really delaying any major purchases like a home, a car, a vacation. It's probably not the best time to take on a lot of debt knowing that you might lose your job. I know that Dave Ramsey also, if you follow him, he recommends having 3 to 5 months of savings in an emergency fund. And I cannot tell you how important that is. Losing your job unexpectedly, this is something that you can plan for now. Start saving today. The last thing under this financial needs category is to take action understanding what your state's unemployment benefits are. How do you file for unemployment? How long does it take to get those benefits? When does it kick in? What information do you need to provide them? How much money are you going to get every month on unemployment? So research that. Okay, the third and final tip for today. So the first one was administrative action you could take. The second one was review your financial needs and expenditures. The third one is career aspirations. So all of us should be doing this at all times, to be honest. Some of these things I'm going to share, regardless of COVID-19 or job security or uncertainty in the economy, any of that. A thing that you should be doing right now, and you can take action on today, is make a list of accomplishments that you have achieved with your current employer. Write down the money that you've saved the company, the money that you've made the company, the processes you've improved, the people that you've impacted or mentored or trained or developed. These are things you can do today to point to and be like, I did that. This is what I did for this company. And you can take that with you and tell it to a future employer. Another thing that you can do along the lines of career aspirations is really just take some time to sit down and think about, where do you want to go next? What do you really want to do? Because I know for Rustin and I, this time has forced us into a period of reflection and clarity, and really allowed us this gift in a way to sit down and think about what we really want to do next. And we wouldn't have had that necessarily if COVID-19 didn't force us out of our jobs last week. So again, take some time, think about, if you were to lose your job tomorrow, where would you want to go next? What would you want to do? What excites you? What's your passion? Maybe take some of those negative things you don't like about your job today and think about how you can turn those into a positive in the future with your next opportunity or your next employer. And I think it's important, even right now with COVID-19, if you can avoid it, don't jump into something just out of desperation or out of fear. Really think about your next opportunity as being your highest and best purpose and what you want to do as much as possible. And the last little tip that falls under this career aspirations part is keep your resume updated regularly. The reason that we suggest this is because we know that when things are fresh in our mind, again, back to kind of making a list of accomplishments that you've achieved in your current role, you want to make sure that those are fresh in your mind and you can add them to your resume as you go. Okay, those are the 3 tips we have. 3 of the first 6 actions you can take today to prepare yourself for sudden job loss. So take care of those administrative needs, look at your financial situation, and think about your future career aspirations. I hope this was helpful for anyone out there watching. I know Russ and I are super excited to collaborate on these videos together, and we will be doing part 2 of this later this week, and we'll be sharing our 3 remaining tips to prepare for sudden job loss. Well, thanks so much, and I'll see you guys next time.